One of the things I absolutely love about China is their whole very healthy, very wholesome farm to plate sort of culture. In China, fresh is best is no exaggeration. China is probably the only country I've ever stayed in or observed where people don't like using refrigerators. They literally go every day to go and buy their vegetables from the wet markets, even in the cities. You know, even in these massive big built up cities, people still go to the wet market in the morning to get their fresh vegetables and their fresh meat for the food for that specific day. This is just part of the culture, and it's actually quite interesting because if you go out in the mornings, you will see sort of the grandmas or the aunties out there with their little bags of, whoa, that sun is bright, out there with their little bags of vegetables and fresh meat that they've bought. And they will go, and then they'll go to start cooking sort of breakfast and then lunch, etc., etc. So it comes at no surprise that they've got an amazing sort of farm to plate sort of culture out in the rural areas. I was very lucky that recently I was invited to go out and test ride some motorcycles for a Chinese motorcycle company. And while I was there, of course, the very normal thing to do when you go on a business trip with any Chinese company or with any Chinese people, you know, you will sort of be taken out and treated to lunch and treated to dinner and that kind of thing. And being out in the more or less the rural sticks, we were of course taken to these sort of farmland rural restaurants, and it's really always a very pleasant experience. Well, here we are, we're about to have lunch, and it's actually a very nice place. Now, you know, there's this kind of weird situation I have. You get these lovely sort of farmland. Now we are out in the farmlands, right? We have these lovely sort of farmland restaurants like you have here, where they have a kind of a lake over there. They probably pull out some fresh fish out of that thing. And you know, you see little farmland things all around this area that we're in. And I do like these places because you do know that you're going to probably get fairly clean food. And when you're far out away from the factories and stuff, like I see all the chickens up there, for instance, is like, let me zoom in for you. See all the chickens? So I see all the chickens and geese and stuff up there. And you know, you can rest assured that the food you're going to eat here is going to be fresh, you know, probably not full of disgusting chemicals and probably not like rancid old expired meat that's been treated to kind of look okay. But when you get these kind of farm style restaurants like this in the cities, that's when you start to worry, because where are they getting their so-called fresh meat and stuff from? I've seen them delivering split pigs in the morning on the back of motorcycles and in these disgusting trucks and stuff. So yeah, in all honesty, this kind of restaurant, I absolutely love it out in the countryside. Can't go wrong. But in the cities, I stay away from anything similar to this. It's better to just go for higher end brand names, really, if you're worried about your health. Now there's a lot of peace of mind being able to see, you know, the little chicken that was walking around near your table or just over there across their little fish pond or whatever, you know, being plucked up and prepared in a matter of minutes for you because, well, you know what you're eating. And all the vegetables are fresh from their gardens that are just there, so you can also see where the vegetables are coming from. And it gives you a lot of peace of mind. And it is really fresh, wholesome food. And it's fantastic, and I absolutely love it. Of course, in the cities, buying from the wet markets, and if you were to go to one of these non-fu restaurants, as they're called, you're probably not going to be that lucky because you can't really tell where the vegetables or the meat are coming from. And of course, they're very, very likely to be tainted or maybe grown in some sort of dodgy ground next to a factory or something. So there are some drawbacks. But if you're out in the rural sticks, you really can't go wrong. And it's something that's kind of the opposite to the West. Because in the West, anything that's organic or free range, you know, natural, has an incredibly high price tag. Whereas here in China, it's the opposite. You go out into those rural areas and everything is cheap as chips. You know, you can sit down and have a massive meal like we had there for 5 people or 6 people, and it will be less than 200 RMB. which is ridiculous if you think about it. But that is honestly one of the best things about China. One of the things I love the most is the clean, healthy and fresh farm to plate sort of thing they've got going on. However, be prepared to tackle with bones, because there's not a lot of preparation when it comes to, you know, the chickens and the meat and that kind of thing. Anyway guys, that's it. It's just a short one. If you'd like me to go in depth on these things in the future, I can. I'm looking forward to seeing you all in the next video, so until next time, you know the drill. Oh, and of course, in a recent video, of course, I talked about the whole dog meat thing. And a question a lot of people ask me is like, how do you know that they're not secretly giving you dog? How do you know you're not eating dog by mistake? You don't need to worry about that, because dog meat is a lot more expensive in China than pork or beef or chicken or anything like that. So you're not going to be given it by mistake. Trust me, you have to pay for it if you want to eat it. So put your mind at ease. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. See you next time. And you know the drill. Stay awesome.